Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to our English lesson with me, Teacher Idayu. Today, we are going to learn about writing a fictional narrative. Please open your past to book, page 38. Before we begin our lesson on writing a fictional narrative, let's take a look at the sequence. What is sequence? Sequence is the order of events in a story. Sequence ialah urutan peristiwa di dalam cerita. Sequencing is putting the events in a story in the order in which they took place. Sequencing ialah meletakkan peristiwa dalam cerita mengikut urutan kejadian. There are clue words in every story that can help we figure out the sequence or the order. Terdapat beberapa perkataan yang digunakan sebagai petunjuk dalam setiap cerita. Perkataan ini dapat membantu kita mengetahui tentang urutan cerita tersebut. First, pertama, next, seterusnya, then, kemudian, and last, akhirnya. These words are sequencing words. Perkataan-perkataan ini dipanggil sebagai sequencing words. These are some words that we can use to replace first. These are some words we can use to replace next. We can use these words to replace then. Or these words to replace last. Ini adalah sebahagian perkataan yang boleh kita guna untuk ganti first, next, then, dan last. Today, we will focus on sequencing words written in the past book. Hari ini, kita akan fokus kepada sequencing words yang ada dalam buku past. We use the following sequencing words and expressions to show the order in which events happened. One day, satu hari. One day, Sam woke up early and went swimming. Satu hari, Sam bangun awal dan pergi berenang. Soon, tidak lama lagi. Soon, it was time for breakfast. Tidak lama lagi, masa untuk sarapan pagi. Then, kemudian. Then, he went back to the campsite. Kemudian, dia pulang semula ke tempat perkemahan. By then, pada masa itu. By then, his family were eating. Pada masa itu, keluarga dia tengah makan. Later, they all went to the beach. Kemudiannya, mereka semua pergi ke pantai. In the end, pada akhirnya. In the end, they stayed at the beach until 10 p.m. Pada akhirnya, mereka duduk di tepi pantai sehingga pukul 10 malam. What is a fictional narrative writing? Narrative writing tells a story. Narrative writing ni kita wayak pasal cerita. Narrative writing has characters. Narrative writing dia ada watak-watak dia. It can be real or make believe. Dia boleh jadi betul dan boleh jadi buat orang percaya sahaja. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Dia ada permulaan, dia ada tengah-tengah dan ada perakhiran. That's why we need to use sequencing words. Sebab itulah kita perlu gunakan sequencing words. Let's look at question number 1. Read the story, complete it with the words in bold and expressions in the writing focus. Mari kita baca cerita ni, kemudian kita lengkapkan cerita ni dengan perkataan yang dihitamkan pada writing focus. Contohnya, one day, soon dan sebagainya. Lost, hilang. Number 1. My friend Rosie and I decided to go for a walk in the mountains. Saya dan rakan saya Rosie bercadang untuk pergi berjalan-jalan di gunung. The sun was shining when we set off, but number 2. The weather changed. Mula-mula matahari tegar apabila kami mulakan perjalanan, tapi tiba-tiba cuaca tu berubah. It was very foggy and we couldn't see where we were going. Ianya keadaannya sangat berkabus dan kami tak nampak ke mana kami pergi. Number 3, we were lost. Kami sesat. We didn't know what to do. Kami tak tahu nak buat apa. Number 4, I remembered I had my mobile phone in my bag. Saya teringat saya ada bawa handset dalam beg saya. I tried to phone my dad but my phone wasn't working. Saya cuba untuk telefon ayah saya tapi telefon saya tak berfungsi. Number 5, it was getting dark and we were cold and frightened. Ini semakin gelap dan kami kesejukan dan takut. Suddenly, we heard the sound of a helicopter. Tiba-tiba kami mendengar bunyi helikopter. We couldn't believe our luck. Kami tak percaya, kami sungguh bernasib baik. It was coming to rescue us. Ia datang untuk menyelamatkan kami. Everything was alright. Semuanya dalam keadaan baik-baik. Number 6, but we learned our lesson. Tapi kami belajar daripada apa yang telah kami lalui. Next time, we'll check the weather forecast before we go for a walk in the mountains. Lain kali, kami akan tengok dulu ramalan cuaca sebelum kami pergi berjalan. Question 3, read the story again and answer the questions about sequencing words and phrases. Okay, baca semula cerita tadi, kemudiannya jawab soalan berikut mengenai sequencing words dan frasanya. Okay, question 1, which phrase often goes at the beginning of a story? Frasa mana yang biasanya kita gunakan untuk permulaan cerita? Okay, awak boleh guna tadi frasa sequencing words and expressions tadi dalam writing focus untuk jawab soalan ini dah. Contohnya one day ko, soon ko dan sebagainya lah ada dalam writing focus. Question 2, which phrase often goes at the end of a story? Okay, frasa mana biasa kita guna di akhir cerita? Question 3, which phrase often followed by the past continuous? Frasa mana yang biasanya diikuti dengan past continuous? Question number 4, what tense do we usually use with the other words? Okay, tense yang mana kita guna dengan perkataan-perkataan yang lain? Contohnya past simple ko, past continuous tense ko. Let's read the story again so that you can answer question number 3 correctly.
Unit 3. Writing. A fictional narrative. Exercise 1.
Lost. One day, my friend Rosie and I decided to go for a walk in the mountains. The sun was shining when we set off, but later the weather changed. It was very foggy, and we couldn't see where we were going. Soon, we were lost. We didn't know what to do. Then I remembered I had my mobile phone in my bag. I tried to phone my dad, but my phone wasn't working. By then, it was getting dark, and we were cold and frightened. Suddenly, we heard the sound of a helicopter. We couldn't believe our luck. It was coming to rescue us. Everything was all right in the end, but we learned our lesson. Next time, we'll check the weather forecast before we go for a walk in the mountains.
Question 4. Rewrite the sentences with the words in the correct position. Okay, awak boleh tulis semula ayat di bawah ni. Tulis ayat lain tetapi menggunakan posisi yang betul. Satu soalan itu, satu ayat mungkin boleh ditulis 2 kali. Number 1. She soon was tired, so she sat down to have a rest. Number 2. Sam didn't want to go on the trip, but he, in the end, enjoyed it. Number 3. I was feeling by then hungry because it was lunchtime. Number 4. It went cloudy and it started then raining. She soon was tired, so she sat down to have a rest. How should we rewrite the sentence? Macam mana kita nak tulis mula ayat ni? We can change the order of soon and was. Salah satu cara ialah kita boleh tukar kedudukan soon dan was. The answer can be, she was soon tired, so she sat down to have a rest. Can you write another sentence from this question? Boleh awak tulis ayat lain tak daripada soalan ni? Sam didn't want to go on the trip, but he in the end enjoyed it. How should we rewrite the sentence? We can change the order of enjoyed, it, and in the end. The answer can be, Sam didn't want to go on the trip, but he enjoyed it in the end. Please write another answer for this sentence. And do complete question 4. Rewrite the sentences with the words in the correct position. That's the end of our lesson today. Thanks for watching. Assalamualaikum.